Hey guys, welcome to a new video from me where I'm going to show you how to beat Graveyard. Feel free to already write me in the comments which deck you want to see the next. And now I wish you a lot of fun with the video. Let's go. Alright guys, the first tip I want to show you, as always I'm playing against myself, is how you can pull the balloon away from the graveyard, or I mean from tombstone. It happens a lot of time, especially against no damage, that your opponent is playing the building, for example the cage or the tombstone, and a nader. So when the balloon is actually walking onto your tombstone or onto his cage, the king tower is activated. It happens actually often that your opponent is playing just a tombstone like that, and as you probably should know, a normal balloon like that would go onto the tombstone. Then your opponent can just play a nader onto you, but you can actually avoid that by playing your balloon. You can see actually somehow that the balloon gets pushed a little bit at the right side, so actually the balloon walks away from the tower. Then he could actually go in with a nader, but you guys can see because of the Lavahound which pushed the balloon actually in the right, it's also impossible for your opponent to actually activate the king tower. In my opinion, the trick is so helpful in a lot of graveyard decks, but just with a building for sure. Alright guys, and the second tip I want to show you is actually to play your tombstone behind your tower, for sure at this tower where you are having less HP. I'm giving you guys actually a small example. For example, you're playing the tombstone like that, your opponent can't do anything, and then you're just going to try to counter push him playing this one, and for sure he is going to into your lane. Then you are able actually to just go in with a mega minion like that, for example. Yes, actually the tower isn't get tanked by the knight, but you guys can see actually how broken the tombstone is in combination with a support troop against the graveyard. So actually your opponent never can do graveyard at your lane where the tombstone is played. So in my opinion, also tombstone behind the tower is so helpful against a lot of graveyard decks. Alright guys, in the next tip I want to show you how you should deal actually with the dragons with your fireball. Actually the tip is split it into two different tips, and yeah, the first tip I want to show you is actually when your opponent is doing Inferno Dragon behind the tower. You are having a big push at the right lane, you just can go in with the fireball like that. You guys can see actually that the Inferno Dragon is getting boosted at the left side. It also works for sure with the baby dragon, and then your Lavahound push can actually just go onto the full tower. And yeah, that's in my opinion pretty cool, but there's also some other cool tricks how to deal with these dragons. Alright guys, in the next scenario, for me personally, it's not worth to make two different tips out of that. So in the next scenario actually you are going in again with the Lavahound, but this time your opponent is playing the Inferno Dragon in the back. Then he's going in for sure with a knight in front of that, and then you are asking yourself how you deal with that. You're playing the fireball and then just playing a mega minion or also Inferno Dragon, skeleton drags are so helpful. So yeah, you are able actually to use your fireball knockback differently, but it's still so much value in my opinion. And yeah, never forget that the fireball is actually doing also knockback. Alright guys, in the next tip I just want to say you that you shouldn't try tower trades, because normally every graveyard deck is with so many hard counters. So your opponent is normally having a building, a Nado, maybe also an Inferno Tower, which is actually a building, or archer, something like that. So I want to give you, for example, a scenario. You're going in with the Lavahound, your opponent is just going in with the knight graveyard, and I want to say always try to defend it. Go in with guards, go in with fireball, go in with zap, because you need to defend it otherwise. So if you're just going in with the balloon like that, you're never going to get a tower trade. Your opponent is just going in with a baby dragon, or maybe also just with a cage and with a tornado. So in my experience, it's so hard to get actually a tower trade against a normal no damage deck. So yeah, more often try to actually just play a naked Lavahound, just play then Fireball onto the Ice Wizard, but a big counter push is impossible against Graveyard. Alright guys, in the next tip I want to give you a small tip which is actually kinda cool. It happens pretty often that you are not doing a Lavaloon push. It happens actually pretty often that you are doing a Lavahound Mega Minion push or just a Lavahound Skelly Drag push, but actually this doesn't matter for my tip, because actually it happens, as I said, pretty often that your opponent is just going in then with a baby dragon, for example, and just with a knight, and you guys can see actually that the Mega Minion is going to get shipped passive completely down. So my experience, I want to give you the tip to play maybe the Lavahound sometimes more in the middle, so you just can play naked support cards at the left of your field. Yeah guys, this were actually my tips how you should be able to defend Graveyard. In my opinion, Graveyard isn't the easiest deck to beat. Alright guys, my sixth tip is actually to use your Zap against the opponent when he's playing with the Inferno Dragon. The Zap can get so much value out of 2 elixir. It happens so often that your opponent is just going in with an Inferno Dragon, for example, against your troops, for example, right now, and then you just actually supported your Lavahound already with his troops. Your opponent is, firstly, I want to show you how it happens pretty often. Your opponent is just going an Ice Wizard, just going in with a NATO, for example, and then just a freeze. You can't actually zap that anymore because the zap actually doesn't help or something like that. So that's actually how you shouldn't defend pushes like that. But there's actually a cool trick which is so helpful for just 2 elixir how to counter completely the Inferno Dragon. Alright guys, I want to show you to zap the Inferno Dragon actually that your opponent is thinking the Lavahound plops off, but the Lavahound isn't actually really plopping off, and yeah, that's so helpful often. The same situation, you're going in again with the Loon in the back, and then he's probably going in with an Ice Wizard again. Slowly, he's thinking actually your Lavahound is plopping off right now. He is already nailing that, but you guys can see actually that he still needs to freeze that. You normally could have still supported that, or you guys see actually what I am trying to see. It's so helpful to actually predict the Inferno Dragon, or to just play a zap actually onto the Inferno Dragon when you think your Lavahound could flop off. And yeah, these were my top 6 tips. I mean, please write me in the comments which is your favorite tip and tricks, and for sure also please write me in the comments which deck you want to see the next. And yeah, that's it for the video. See you next video. Bye guys.